This is Mouth Media Network. Amplify and connect.
If you ask most people what kind of car they think they are, they might say a Mercedes, or a Ferrari, a BMW, or even a Mini Cooper. This show is the equivalent of a 1972 Chevy Nova, with a dented fender and an oil leak, with one hubcap lovingly on loan from Grandma's Dodge Dart. In other words, this is Funny People Talking.
Hola, I'm Diana Yanez. I'm creator of Latina Christmas Special and one of the writers and actors in the show. And I would rather be bathing in a bathtub full of cockroaches than listen to funny people talking.
My name's Maria Russell, and I'm one of the stars and one of the writers of the Latina Christmas Special. And I would rather be licking skin tags and cutting them than listen to funny people talking.
Hi, I'm Sandra Valls. I'm an actor, comic, singer. I'm also the co-writer and a co-star of Latina Christmas Special. And I would rather be by 100 camels than listen to funny people talking.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to what really is kind of our holiday special. And you'll discover why in just a moment. I'm one of your hosts, Marc. Welcome to Funny People Talking. I'm so damn excited. This is going to be really fun. The strange thing is there's one less person in the studio than normal, which I'll explain, but there's actually a lot of people in the studio. And you just heard some of them. Unfortunately, our good friend and co-host Danielle Beckman is not here with us. However, she sent this message.
Hey everyone, this is your co-host Danielle Beckman. I just wanted to say thank you so much for 1 year of listenership. I just wanted to say thank you for listening. It's been a year. Clink, clink, Elsie and Marc. Thank you for just such a great year of funny, of laughter, of amazing conversations, of improv games, and of course, end of show food on Funny People Talking. I'm just honored to be a co-host on the show and so excited for what 2020 has in store. So cheers, clink your glasses together for 1 year and a very happy holidays. Sending you all lots of love from your nerdy host, Danielle.
We miss you, Danielle. Happy holidays. But I also am very fortunate because, as per usual, back in the studio with us is our good friend and our amazing producer, Elsie. Hi, Elsie.
Hi.
How are you today?
I'm fine.
You are?
Mm-hmm.
Well, are you like awesome? Are you fine? Are you sucky? I mean, I know you said fine, but
No, I want to tell my story.
Okay, so tell your story.
This is a licking subway floor story.
Of course it is.
Yeah, because I've been inspired to tell it.
Naturally.
This is true, though. So I was on the C train coming from Brooklyn into the city.
The C train, C for cockroach?
Oh.
Yeah, sure. So then there were these kids who were partying and stuff, and they all had these big cups, the red cups.
Yeah.
That and they were standing up, and they were pretty wasted. And so they spilled it, and they were all yelling at each other because they were wasting the booze, and one of the kids leaned down and sucked all the liquor off the floor.
Oh.
That is a true story.
Really?
We'll never really know why he got sick. We'll never know the actual cause of why
but
he got sick.
And then when he did it, another kid was like, oh, well, I want to be popular, and everyone laughed at me. So the two of them were just slurping it off the floor.
Oh my God, that's desperate. Even in my most desperate college days, I never licked
a
subway floor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there were no
I want to say the minute I said I never licked, one of our guests just went, ooh, what's going to come after that? So
anyway, that's what I wanted.
Well, thank you for sharing.
I was inspired. So
yes, well, welcome to our holiday special,
it's
everybody.
A good story. It's a good story. Yeah.
Anyway, good to see you, Elsie. No. We're gonna have a great show. With us in the studio, as you hear all of this cackling on the mics, are the 3 stars of the amazing show that we can't wait to hear all about. It is called the Latina Christmas Special. Woo! And I got to look at the trailer, the somewhat voluminous trailer. It's like a full serving trailer of the show. And I have to say, it's pretty damn impressive what you guys have put together. And I can't wait to hear all about you. And I want to point out that one of them is wearing a coat with a big she looks like she stepped off the plane from Russia.
Yes.
Shunka.
Like, yes, white shunka, and her white, she's just like, she's dressed to she's got her leather pants on. She's a whole presentation.
And it's
We
white.
tried to warn you, didn't we?
It's white.
Tried
It's
to
white.
warn
I
you.
know.
Warned
So, that poor albino mink. No. All kidding aside, welcome to all of you. So, could you just go round robin and just say each of your names, just so we can hear your voice and connect it to your name.
Hi, Sandra Valls here.
Hello, Diana Yanez.
Hi, Maria Russell.
All right. Thank you. We're so excited all of you are here. One big combined voice.
Oh, and we have to honorably mention our peanut gallery.
Yes, we have a peanut gallery. Brenda is in our peanut gallery.
Brenda Lee.
Sorry, Brenda Lee in
Like
the
the singer,
background.
Brenda Lee.
So if you hear a disembodied laugh in the background, she just can't help herself. So welcome. All right, so we're going to get started with a great show. We've got a great show ahead. We are going to do a round of movie reviews from Elsie, who gets to review the movie even though she hasn't seen it. And then I have a little story that I want to talk to you about why do we have to do a survey every time we're asked? No matter what we do, they
feel
want to know
pressure.
how they're doing. It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to talk about that. And of course, our usual tribute to Tina Fey and a brand new game on this show called Changing Scenery that is going to be perfect for the three of you. We're going to play an improv game. And of course, we'll find out all about you in the Latina Christmas Special. And of course, a very, very special edition of End of Show Food. Elsie tells me she has something particularly different in store. So all of that is coming up right after this. But first,
Yeah.
I have a question for you. Since Danielle is not here,
I don't have a nerd tip.
that's okay. I do have a question for you, though. I have a question for you, though. I don't know why I said to those.
All right.
So, Elsie, I did notice when you came in,
Oh boy.
you were eating an incredibly huge.
Hey, oh.
See what you started.
I'd
rather do a nerd tip.
You were eating an incredibly huge bratwurst.
Yeah.
It was just piled with sauerkraut.
Mhm.
I'm serious. Like, I think the sauerkraut was a good solid 6 inches high, piled on top of that bratwurst.
Yeah.
I've never seen you walk in here actually eating food, number one. I've never seen you walk in here eating something that involved.
Yeah.
And you just, I turned back and it was gone in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So I need to understand what is going on with the bratwurst,
Well, you don't know me very well, first of all.
apparently.
I don't really like to tell you about myself because it's none of your business. But I like food a lot.
I know that.
And I have a wide variety of things that I like. The list of stuff I don't like is very small. And I hadn't eaten since this morning, and I had to scarf it down. So there's all those Christmas markets out there, and they have these booths, and that's what I chose. It was the most bang for my buck, and just
How much does a bratwurst and 6 inches high of sauerkraut run you at a Christmas booth?
it was $1 an inch.
So she spent $30.
Okay.
All at once.
Yeah.
I don't know why I've suddenly gotten very uncomfortable with this conversation. I know I started it.
I'm telling you, you should have let me do a nerd tip.
All right. Do you have a nerd tip?
No.
Well, then I'm not going to do it.
All right.
All
Let
right.
me think. Hang on.
Okay. And in 3, 2, 1.
Hey, Mark,
Yeah.
give me a tip.
Just the tip, nerd tip.
See what I did there?
No.
You're the nerd.
Could you tell me to start the show?
Start the show already.
From the Mouth Media Network studios in New York City, this is Funny People Talking with Marc Rako, Danielle Beckman, and
All right, everybody, we're here, Funny People Talking. We are here with the stars of the incredible theatrical presentation in New York City called the Latina Christmas Special. So excited to learn more. But first, I gotta tell you, yesterday I had I don't remember what it was. I had to talk to Apple or something like that. It seems like every time you turn around, have you noticed this? No matter what you do, no matter who you call your insurance, you call Apple, you get you do this, they go, oh, by the way, would you mind, could we give you a 1-minute survey when we're done? And and I'm like, why am I telling them? So like, let's say you called a complaint, and then you're supposed to tell them the great job they did handling your complaint. What has business come to these days? I'm not ranting. I'm opening up to discussion. What has business come to these days that they are so desperate for attention that they need to be coddled and told that we love them?
It's called Yelp.
Yeah.
Yelp has ruined everything.
Has Yelp
in a
ruined
good
everything?
way and in a bad way, though.
Why do you think Yelp has ruined everything?
No, I'm kidding. For businesses, because people who run their businesses say they hate it, because what happens is, like, let's just say, I would never complain, actually, because I'm not a complainer unless really warranted. Unless warranted. I'm talking about like a business.
Right. Yeah, you're not like
these girls.
Okay.
God.
No.
Businesses.
Always
I
cockroaches.
feel bad, even if they did something like not.
No, not me.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
But then here's the thing. I feel guilt because the person that's asking you to fill out the survey, I don't know if this is acting or not, but they kind of make it seem like it's going to really affect their job performance report,
their job review.
Stuff. Yeah, it's like, and I hope you enjoyed how I handled your problem, blah blah blah, and be sure to score me high. And I'm like, okay. And so what I often do is I score them high, and then the part where they give you the opportunity to describe things, I let them know why I called and why I'm mad at the company, not them.
Oh, that's nice.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
That is very good.
Now, are you willing to give feedback just to get a free Whopper at Burger King or something like that?
No, only Pollo Loco.
Well, but I was just using them as an example. Fair enough. But I mean, are you willing to give feedback and be rewarded for it, or do you prefer to just give feedback because you really have something to say? Can you conjure feedback?
I only give positive feedback.
There is actually a study that I read about that people who are satisfied normally don't really give that much feedback unless they're really satisfied. People who are not satisfied give that feedback where it was horrible. However, people who are not satisfied but you help them and then they were like, oh, thank you for fixing it, those are the people that give way more feedback, like, this is horrible, but Mary helped me and you all are great. So the satisfied people aren't really talking. They just assume, all right, everything's fine. It's the ones that are not satisfied. You get what I'm saying?
The no news is
very
good
rare.
news.
I make it a conscious effort. If I really like say, an Uber driver or somebody like extra, then I'll take the extra 5 minutes and say, this guy was really great. We had great conversations, whatever. But other than that, I rate them all 5. And then, like, my driver, Omar, who was on the phone the whole time and was like, his car reeked of, like, he had like 10 hanging trees yesterday. I was like, oh, I'm not going to say anything. I'm like, this kid's probably trying to make a buck, whatever. You know what I mean? I just gave him a 5.
Oh, no,
but
I will say something.
Come
I will say something, and I will also give reviews in exchange for free stuff.
Oh, you will?
I'm just gonna.
Good to know.
You would tell on Omar?
She's all quid pro quo over here.
Oh,
My thing with the Omar is with all those hanging smelly things.
With all those Christmas deodorants.
People with allergies and asthma attacks.
Well, then they're
Those
the
things
ones that
are
are going to
very
complain
bad.
to Omar.
That's bad to have all that stuff. So if I can
guess I
save
am
that
a little lenient,
from
Oh, now
happening.
she's backpedaling.
Well, I guess I was just thinking about my driver the other day.
Well, now I know how to get things from you. I'm like, oh, would you like quesadilla? if you make me this,
Tell
you're
me
like,
my performance
okay.
was great.
Feedback.
I'm going to feed you back so you can give me something.
Exactly.
I'll just
That's
bring
why
something
it's called
to eat.
feedback.
Okay.
Oh.
All right,
Did
no
you notice
worries.
we all wore
See,
hats? Isn't
this
that weird?
whole Uber
It's New
rating
York.
thing, by the way, to me bothers me because I don't understand why. Because the Uber driver gave me precisely the exact service that I paid for and expected. I now have to reward him with a certain number of stars. If I fail to rate him, I don't want to do that extra work beyond the money that I paid and possibly the tip that I generously gave.
Well, we live in a world where everyone wants a reward and everyone wants a trophy, which, there is a book called Punished by Rewards. And I really don't like it when all the kids get a trophy or all the kids get every thing just for participation. No, you're going to learn that there are things that, you're going to lose sometimes and, hey, you're going to have to deal with it. Not everyone gets a trophy.
Exactly.
But now everyone wants to be rewarded. Even with children, you got to do, that's a great job. No one told me I did a great job by stopping at a stoplight. That's what I'm supposed to do.
Can you imagine?
It's
Wouldn't
ridiculous.
that be the greatest?
Or like a preschool graduation. What?
Right. Yeah.
Oh,
There's graduations.
with robes, with gowns.
That's lame.
Everybody wants a like. Everybody wants, and I think on the same topic.
We
in this
love
society,
Sandra.com.
What?
Do you know what I honestly
That's
believe?
my website. What?
Those.
Why are you saying that?
Is that really what it is?
WeLoveSandra.com. That's my.
Yeah. You just
Do you know,
said
do you know what's
everybody
happening
wants
right
a
now,
like.
Sandra?
No,
You're getting feedback on your website.
Oh my God, SandraValls.com was taken. No, what I'm saying is that everybody wants a reward. Everybody wants. Listen.
Are you okay with that?
I was interrupted by it. They all love me. That's the truth.
Everybody wants a love.
Everybody wants like a like. Like they want to be rewarded for things that you're like, I will, but damn, not for things that are
that you're supposed to do
that
anyway.
you're supposed to be doing anyway. Which
You think they're engineering us how we're supposed to feel about them by making us say it out loud, basically, that we liked it?
But I think people do more complaining than not.
Well, because I'll tell you why. That was my next point before we left Sandra.com.
Bigger. I think that's what it's opened the floor to do, is like complain about every single thing. Where sometimes I read the reviews on Yelp about something, are you freaking kidding me? Like the smallest things, I'm like, who is this Nidia Sanasha Hoho?
Yeah.
Well, because people who were always opinionated and complainers now feel the need to, and a platform like Amazon, the reviews I read about the stupidest product, the longest paragraph about the tiniest thing is ridiculous. People feel entitled to give their opinion, and mostly, like I said, they give negative opinions.
Gotcha. All right, well,
We love Sandra.com.
Stop saying it.
well,
It's a joke. It's funny people talking here.
That's right. That's right.
Because you were so funny just now.
Okay, so
Unbelievable.
speaking of feedback and
Yes.
reviews, this is a
just jealous 'cause I
great
have a
transition and segue to our next segment.
After you all leave today, we'll be sending you an email
Yes,
from SurveyMonkey.
How you guys did?
and
How did you like being on our show?
and what we will reward you is with quesadillas. So it's like,
Diana.
no,
Okay.
so it's great to see like reviews of your show. Reviews of movies. It helps us figure out whether to see them. But some people are
subjective.
some people are so intuitive that they can already figure. Haven't you ever seen a description for a movie or a play, and you already got to figure it out? You're like, I already know what this is going to be. I got to figure it out. Well, no one's better than that than Elsie, who's able to do pretty extensive movie reviews without actually seeing the movie. So this is our special feature, which is Elsie does movie reviews without seeing them. So I'm gonna describe the movie as it's described, and then Elsie's gonna tell us what it was about. So the first one is called Invisible Life, which starts in theaters on December 20th. And we're recording this before December 20th, just to be clear. And this is the description, Elsie. Rio de Janeiro, 1950. Okay, Eurydice, 18, and Guida, or Gouda, or whatever, 20.
Eurydice and Guida.
I'm sorry, it is Guida. It's not.
Yeah, but Eurydice.
Eurydice, yeah. Eurydice, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Having the correct pronunciation of that was key. 18 and
so.
Guido 20 are two inseparable sisters living at home with their conservative parents. Although immersed in a traditional life, each one nourishes a dream. Eurydice of becoming a renowned pianist, and Guida of finding true love. In a dramatic turn, they are separated by their father and forced to live apart. They take control of their separate destinies while never giving up hope of finding each other. A tropical melodrama from the director of Madame Seta, whatever it is. I can't read it. So, Invisible Life. Tell us how that was, Elsie.
The dollars for this movie were also invisible.
Oh.
Meaning what?
This movie is not going to make a whole lot of money.
Oh, I see. Why is that?
Because it's just not going to appeal to the masses. It's very specific, and it has too many possible problems, like a story that no one cares about.
That's usually a problem.
It's not holiday fare.
No?
No.
You don't get into tropical melodramas for the holidays?
But seriously, two sisters, problems, Rio, 50s, father, who cares?
Eurydice?
Yeah, Eurydice.
And Guida.
Yeah. So.
Or Gouda.
No, that's a cheese.
I know. So,
Yeah.
so thumbs down on this one?
Yeah, this one doesn't do it.
All right. Number 2 of 3 that we're going to do, it's called Hell on the Border.
Oh.
I know, right? This epic action-packed Western tells the incredible true story of Bass Reeves, the first black marshal in the Wild West. Having escaped from slavery after the Civil War, he arrives in Arkansas seeking a job with the law, but to prove himself, he must hunt down a deadly outlaw with the help of a grizzled journeyman. As he chases the criminal deeper into the Cherokee Nation, Reeves must not only dodge bullets, but severe discrimination in hopes of earning his star and cement his place as a cowboy legend. So Hell on the Border, how the hell was
Starring
that?
who? You got to say that.
David Gyasi, Frank Grillo, and Ron Perlman.
Oh, I like Frank Grillo.
I don't even know who that is, honestly.
He's like the Italian kind of
Frank
beefy.
Frank Stallone.
Beefy,
Oh,
kind of
no.
Italian-y.
Maria's acting it out instead of saying it.
Yes,
Maria's
she's like, she looks Italian or constipated. I'm not sure which one it is. Both.
It's a podcast.
So
Just kidding, I'm regular.
Elsie,
You're acting it out.
she's like, I just want to make sure the truth gets out there.
This movie is definitely a good one for those who like the true story angle, with a little Hollywood thrown in for the action. You know, how Hollywood makes up the rest of the story kind of deal. The cast is pretty decent, and
Well, we can't go wrong with
and
Ron
it's not something that's been done before. So it's something that people are going to be intrigued about, and mostly the guys and the girls who like the action and adventure stuff, and the girls that are going to go there to impress the guys and make them think they're interested even if they're not. So it'll do pretty okay, but it's going to do even better when it comes out on Netflix and DVD and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Last one. It's called Scandalous, the Untold Story of the National Enquirer. And by the way, I should mention that the poster says sex, drugs, and UFOs. So, Scandalous, the Untold Story of the National Enquirer. Sex, gossip, scandal. For over 60 years, the National Enquirer has pumped out salacious, shocking stories, stretching the limits of journalism and blurring the lens between truth and fiction. Scandalous is the sensational true story of the most infamous tabloid in U.S. history. A wild, probing look at how one newspaper's prescient grasp of its readers' darkest curiosities led it to a massive profits and influence. And it goes on. And it's a documentary, of course. 1 hour and 37 minutes. So Scandalous, the Untold Story of the National Enquirer. Elsie.
Yeah. People love those kinds of words and topics. Even if it's a documentary, they're going to go for it just with the hope of seeing something sleazy or wacky or, underground. It's going to be a sleeper hit mostly because people aren't going to want to spend the money. Who cares if that's on the big screen or not? But it's going to make a lot of money and be like a cult kind of thing.
And what did you think of it?
I like documentaries, but it's not really my taste of thing, but since I am a movie reviewer of things I've never seen, don't think that matters.
Okay. All right. Well, that's movie reviews from Elsie, who didn't see the movie.
Yeah, I just that's my opinion though, as far as the masses go. I think it's going to be a sleeper hit, cult favorite, and live on.
All right.
Yeah.
Much like you.
Sure.
I don't know what that meant. All right. Thank you, Elsie, for that. Okay. One quick piece of housekeeping before we move on with our improv game, and that is every episode we do a salute, a tribute, an appeal to the comedy gods in the hopes that someday, somehow, the great and powerful Tina Fey will make her way onto these microphones, do a drive-by, send us a postcard, anything that she will do.
FaceTime.
FaceTime, we'll take it.
We'll take it.
It's just a matter of touching a little piece of heaven. And so what we do is we pray to the comedy gods. Now, you're more than welcome to join in if you wish, but Elsie and I must do this as a matter of continuity. So I will lead off, and feel free to join in if you're so inclined. Oh, comedy gods, please bring us Tina Fey. Bring it to her. We don't care how it is. Anything is
really
fine.
Nice if you could just reach out, have your manager
in the spirit of the holidays.
Cool.
Please, this tiny little gift for us, it would be a life changer. We love you, Tina Fey. Amen.
Would you like me to call her for you? I'm just kidding. Sorry, I know that was really cruel.
You know what? One of our guests one time made up a story that we totally bought into, that he knew Tina Fey's mom and had worked with her. And I was all ready to sort of like, well, it'd be so amazing if you never know, blah, blah, blah. And after it's over, do you really know her mom? No, I made that up. And I was I was so a combination of in admiration for the way he sold it and really irritated him for leading us on like that.
I do have something to share with you, though.
Yeah,
you're separated from Tina Fey by 2 degrees because actually my best friend, Kurt, as we all know, right? He is a cameraman and he was hired to work on a casting. It's not his normal thing. And the casting was for a Tina Fey show. And Tina Fey came in and he worked the entire day saying nothing, doing his job, but Tina Fey was there with the other people. And he said she seemed like a really lovely, professional, great person to work with. So there you
bet. Thank you. I'm not going to get into it now. We've talked about it before the show, but I have 5 instances in which I came very, very close to working with Tina. I was on the set of 30 Rock when we were shooting and did see I was this far away from her as I am with you. But we've not actually interacted and it comes so close. It's one of my
it's gonna happen.
Hosts of a show that we do on this network. She and Tina Fey shared a nanny, and it's like there's just so many it's just meant to be. Yeah. So all we can do is put it out to the universe. Anyway, that's what that's about.
Yay!
All right, thank you for indulging us as we do our bit of business. You're right over there, Elsie?
Yeah.
All right. So let's play. How about a little improv?
Okay.
Yeah.
I love it.
All right. So this game is called Changing Scenery. And the idea is that you perform a scene that you make up on the spot.
Okay.
But the other people that are not involved in the scene shout out styles of theater for you to perform the scene. And you must, as a group, because you will play this as a group, and Elsie and I will do one. And then we'll demonstrate, if you will, and then you will do one. And the idea is that as we call out changes in style, you all adjust to that, and the scene is now in that style of theater. And you just got to roll with it. And then the scene will conclude when you feel it comes to its natural end. Does that make sense?
Diana loves improv. She's an improv
I know. In
goddess.
fact, may I please remind my co-stars here, it's yes and, okay?
Why are you looking at me?
And. Yes, you specifically.
Okay. I would like to point out, but I would like to point out that she made an adjustment earlier very willingly.
Yes.
So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you with my fellow sisters here.
All right. So what we need from you to do the scene is to tell us what the scene is about. What is something has gone wrong somewhere, somehow.
You gave your sick mother the wrong medication. You gave her a laxative instead of the aspirin she requested.
Okay.
Because they look exactly alike.
So the key here is don't throw out the styles every 10 seconds. Give us a little bit of time to get through the scene, but whenever it makes sense, throw out some style of theater. And does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So, what is this medication? What is this? What did you give mother? This is not an analgesic. Look at what this bottle says. What does that say?
Laxative.
That's right. It says laxative. What has this family come to?
Musical theater.
When you give someone an LAXITIV.
Can't spell anymore.
It's laxative. We don't spell. It's laxative for when you don't feel well.
Shakespeare.
It's laxative from anon. And farther you shall go to find comfort.
Forsooth, why hath thy given thy mother laxative to ingest orally?
Oh, mother, my mother, my mother, you shall forever suffer.
But
Burlesque.
what? Aren't you worried it's going to give her diarrhea of the mouth?
Oh, well, I don't know. Why don't you come over here and taste some of this laxative, cause it's coming off.
Drama.
It's coming off. Because I just don't think I can.
I can't handle it. It's too much.
It is too much.
I think you just push her down the stairs.
Romantic comedy.
You'd like that, wouldn't you? Pushing me down the stairs.
Are you my mother?
I am your mother.
Mommy dearest.
Oh, no wire hangers for you, honey. You're cute. You want to fall in love?
Sure, email me about
Downtown experimental.
Look, cockroaches, I love all of them. Why don't they marry me? They could marry me. And then police. And now...
Western.
Hey there, cowboy.
Now listen here,
That,
partner. I'm gonna take 3 steps to the left, and then you're gonna draw whatever it is you got there at your side there, and I'm gonna shoot you between the eyes before you pull it out.
But what if I throw in a horse and some extra laxatives for your mom?
Latino theater.
Hola, muchacho. Ay, coño.
And scene! That's it. Very good. High five, Elsie.
Yeah.
All right. Well done. Thank you very much. All right. So that is a poorly executed version of what the game is. All right. So Elsie, would you like to offer the ladies something that has gone wrong?
What happened? ¿Qué pasó?
The plumber left and he didn't check to make sure the toilet worked first, and it doesn't.
There you go. All right, so you can just start out the scene and we'll throw it out. And if you're honest, if no one is sure of this, what the style is, like how to execute it, just do your best.
Okay. Yeah. Maria, Sandra, I just gave the plumber $400 to fix the toilet, and he didn't fix the toilet. What was he doing?
Well, were you complaining? Because that's usually what you do.
Oh, well,
Ladies, can we stop this? I really have to go. Does it work or does it not work?
Well, I'm going to complain about you going to the bathroom right now.
Horror film.
Well, listen, Sandra.
What?
Horror.
Horror?
HORROR.
Oh, my God, no, there's poo-poo all over.
I'm sorry, but it just came out.
I knew it was you, Sandra.
Wait a minute. It's moving. Oh my
It's
God.
growing.
There are cockroaches in the poo-poo.
Tennessee Williams.
Well, sure is hot now that we don't have any toilet, no air conditioning.
You know something? When I was a little girl, my childhood was full of memories of using the outhouse in a beautiful field of daisies. And I remember walking all the way at night under the starry sky.
Oh, you stop talking about your gardens. You never stop talking about your gardens.
I know.
Well, at least-
I'm sick of you talking about your gardens.
Look.
Let's talk about my garden.
Daddy always knew I was the favorite child. I'm sorry if Daddy didn't give you gardens.
That's not your daddy. He never told you the truth.
Merry Melodies cartoon style.
Oh.
That's not a style of theater, but I like it anyway.
I'm calling it.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me hit you with this hammer. Boing.
It's not my fault the plumber left without fixing the toilet.
Well, let's get him back here.
Hey, Marco! Why don't you come back here, plumber?
Look, the poop is dancing.
Poetry slam.
I feel like I've asked for the plumber to come down and fix my toilet.
Because you wanted a Hummer.
That's right. My plumber was supposed to bring me a Hummer.
Because poop is coming out of my bummer.
Yeah.
Rogers and Hammerstein.
Oh.
Hello, my poopy. Hello, my darling.
Hello, my poopentine.
My plumber is so handsome. I want to give him a dime.
Dance interlude.
You're my sweetheart when you take a poop.
This dance scene is so long. It's so long, and it belongs in this musical anyway. Because Rogers and Hammerstein always write serious pieces.
Suspense.
That have very long suspense.
Alfred Hitchcock style.
Wait a minute. What was that? Did you hear that?
It sounded like a toilet flushing.
Oh, no, it's Mother.
She's come back.
No, please.
No.
No,
This is
you
what happens
go.
when we don't get the toilet fixed.
You go.
Okay.
You go tell her.
Okay. You guys come with me.
I'm not going anywhere.
Well, but
Oh, I'm sorry,
Sister
yes, and.
Mary.
Latina
I'm going, I'll
Christmas
go.
Special.
Poop in the toilet? What?
Maria, did you do that? Maria.
I know. It's because I was breastfed for 5 years.
What?
You heard me. 5 years.
Unbelievable.
gosh.
Not really.
A toast.
Yes.
Two.
A toast to toilets at work.
And
Toilets
pooping
at
and
work.
blurring.
And scene. Thank you very much. That was perfect. That was great. Well done. Well done. All right, we are going to take a very quick break. When we come back, it's going to be all about these three incredible women and their incredible show, the Latina Christmas Special. Right after this on Funny People Talking, we will be right back.
Why? Oh, yeah, I remember now. This is Funny People Talking.
This is a message from Chris Kattan for Marc, Danielle, and Elsie. Funny People Talking podcast equals 1 year old as holidays arrive. Hosts Marc, Danielle, and cantankerous producer Elsie shared 1 year of stories. Comedians, entertainers, amazing people who all have funny in common, improvising and tasting weird foods. Congrats. I'm Chris Kattan.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Funny People Talking. Hi, Elsie.
Hi.
How you doing over there, Brenda? All right, Brenda's doing good. All right, we are here.
Wait,
What?
that wasn't your full name.
Brenda Lee. All right, Elsie, thanks for bringing the show to a screeching halt, let me tell you.
That was nice of her to
Yes,
remember
it was
that.
very, it was thoughtful.
Points.
It was thoughtful.
Points.
Elsie's very thoughtful.
Points with Brenda Lee. no, Brenda Lee, I'm sorry about that. So, Sandra,
Hi.
Diana, Maria, the Latina Christmas Special. Let's start out with what the hell that is and why it exists and why you decided this is something we need to now do. This is going to be a focus of our life, or one of the focuses of our lives
Every Christmas.
every Christmas. And I'd also like to know how many years have you been doing this?
5 years. Actually, this will be our sixth year.
Congratulations. It's amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
And the Soho Playhouse in New York.
Yes.
That's not really just like a crappy little place to go. I mean, that's like a real thing. That's a big deal. So, so my question is, first, like I said, why does this exist? How did it happen? But the second part of the question is, doing it for now 6 years, how has the feeling of sort of why you do it changed from the first time you did it to now being 6 years in?
Yeah. Well, I'll start by describing how it happened. I was, so I had done a one-woman show that was pretty successful. I was very happy with, called Viva la Evolución, and the experience was fantastic. I was telling personal stories and using my skill as a comedian, because I also do stand-up comedy.
Is that mostly your thing? Are you comedian, writer, actor? What's the primary drive?
I think of myself as a storyteller, but I definitely, I came from sketch comedy. I ended up doing comedic songs, and I toured with Margaret Cho.
Wow.
I was one of her opening acts. And then
congratulations.
Thank you so much. I came to New York and did some shows here. But then afterwards, I started to work on my own on stand-up comedy. And it was actually Sandra, strangely, the circle becomes complete. I was doing stand-up comedy, and Sandra was producing a show called Drama Queens, right? Drama Queens, where she was asking for people to present 15 minutes of a one-person show. And she said, your stuff sounds like a one-person show. Anyway, I don't want to make it all about that, but I won that.
You won the competition.
I won the contest, and the prize was you got the theater for a night to do your one-woman show, which I hadn't written. So I wrote it.
But I made her, I'm like, it doesn't matter, just go.
And I wrote it. And so I really am grateful to her, because that ended up coming to the New York Fringe Festival, and I won the solo award with that show that I had never done before. Anyway.
That's awesome.
At the Soho Playhouse, coincidentally. So what happened was that I had such a great experience doing it, but what I did discover was that it's very lonely when you're doing a one-person show. And what I enjoyed about it was that I basically took the stories that I told all the time at dinner parties with friends and family. And I love when people tell me their personal stories. And so I thought, let's try it again. And I suggested we do 3 women. And I picked a theme, Latinas, and I picked Christmas. And then I thought, okay, who do I use? These 2 bitches hadn't met each other, but I had worked with them.
Did they know they were bitches yet? Or?
Yeah, well,
Maria knew she was
Batches. No, I said bitch. And but in a loving way. So I knew Sandra from stand-up comedy. I knew Maria because we were in a comedy group together called The Unprotected Six, which was a lot of fun as well. But they were 2 very, very funny women. And I thought we really balanced each other, because we are very different women as well, and different heritages as well. So Sandra said yes right away. Now, she's a great writer, and she's done a lot of solo work. Maria was a character actor, and when I told her, can you do this with me, she said no. She said, no way. I'm not going up there. I'm not going to play myself, and I'm not going to tell my own stories by myself on stage. So what happened was that...
I'm sorry, before you go on, Diana, may I ask you, Maria, where did I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, go ahead.
Why?
I want to hear.
I know.
I really want to know what your trepidation was.
Really...
I respect your position, but I'm saying...
So I'm an actress. I work in TV and film. So hiding behind the characters is very comfortable for me because it's not really me, But to be able to be so vulnerable and raw and real and be myself and tell people the truth about me and to people. No.
By the way, that's exactly how she sounded when I told her on the phone.
I told her, I go, oh, Diana, I love you, and I'm so honored and I'm so flattered, but I can't. And then we have the same coach, and she goes, oh no, you're doing it.
Yeah, I told our coach Suzanne Morris, who's fantastic. If you're in LA and you need a great coach, she's wonderful.
She's amazing.
And so we had the same coach, and I told her, I said, I asked Maria, but she turned me down, and she said, oh, she's gonna do it. she's going to do it. Let me talk to her. That's a quote. That's exactly what she said.
And so she told me, you're going to do it.
So the show hadn't been written. We didn't have a show. We didn't have anything written down.
Did you know what the show was going to be yet?
I thought of it as 3 mini one-woman shows. That's how it started. And having done the one-person show, I kind of knew what I was looking for. We helped each other with our
I'm sorry,
stories.
did you already know that the premise of the show was going to be and now it was filling the people, or were you building a show around the opportunity to work with these two?
I had thought it would be three mini one-woman shows, and as we were developing it, we were also developing how it's presented. So we kind of developed that together. And then originally when we first did it, and it just did well right away from the moment we said we're going to do this, we filled up theaters. It was the in-between. We thought what typically happens, and actually still happens between us, is we are drinking. And we'll start telling each other stories, and we start to one-up each other with, oh, you think that's funny? Let me tell you what my mom did. And so we took that sort of feeling, and our director, Jeffrey Rivas, who came in later, also had us improvise some things so that we could work it out. But we basically started to write the in-between, the thing that holds the whole show together, which is that we're 3 women who get together, and coincidentally, we all 3 were going through different things when we started working on this. So it really came together that it was very organic, exactly very similar to how we really are together. This past year, we started experimenting with, we had tried to do it with the audience, not seeing the audience there, like being in Sandra's apartment and making it theatrical in the sense that we were not aware of the audience. We turned it around this year. I mean, actually this past year, and we went, let's see what happens if we include the audience, because our audiences get so into it.
Is your audience primarily Hispanic?
There's a Hispanic American contingent, but there's a lot of diversity. I would say that anybody who's ever had a parent can relate to this show,
which is many of us.
Exactly, and we get a lot of people from different backgrounds because we're first generation American. The 3 of us are American, but our parents are immigrants, and a lot of the people that get the show or really enjoy the show have immigrants in their parents or their grandparents, and they really appreciate what we're talking about, which is what it's like to live with, this is our country, we watch the same shows, we saw White Christmas, we watched Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, we saw those specials, but our home life, our home Christmases were completely different. So it's a lot about that. So we developed the show, we turned it around, we started talking to the audience, and it just went through the roof because all of a sudden we were getting people shouting out stuff. Remember when we were first doing it, people would be like, oh, don't forget this. And I'll never forget these ladies screaming out, don't forget to mention the aguacate salad. I was just like, what? I'm working. I'm on stage, and
well, because we talk about food, and she's like, my family, Diana, and we all go, we had this, and then the ladies were like, oh, and also this. I'm like, huh?
I know. At one point, Sandra unzipped the fourth wall, and she opened the fourth wall, and she went, "This is live. I can hear you." And then she closed it again. It was
because they were talking.
They kept talking as if they were there with us at this party. So we said, you know what?
Let's include them.
Instead of trying to ignore them, let's include them. And it made everybody just go, oh, like this is their party. This is their
party.
Next level.
Very, very interesting. So how did that change your comedic approach once you had the people involved? Did it make it into a lot more improv? Did it, did it throw you? How did it change the show? Because once you invited it and said it's okay, I would imagine you're going to get more people doing it.
Oh, strangely, it's been the opposite. I think they're more on the spot, but we comment. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm a stand-up comic. We all are, but I do stand up very regularly. I tour a lot. When you look at people in the face and you have a conversation with people in the face, that's how it changes. Rather than looking off yonder in the horizon, doing your monologue about your life and blah 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 blah. I mean, when you look around and actually include them, surprisingly, they're way much more like, oh yeah, they listen because you're looking at them in the face. 1 or 2 people were like, yeah, that's right, girl. Yeah, of course, that's right. Like the other night, I'm like, thank you, whatever. But it's for me, it's a normal, natural thing to take people in and look around, and it feels more at home for me. that I'm still telling the story, but it actually looks like
Yeah.
we're telling it fresh for the
Like
first
with
time. Does that
Aunt
make
so
any
and so
sense?
is there or whatever. Yeah.
It just feels like it's not a monologue that's memorized. It feels like, to me, even listening to you all on stage, and myself too, that it's coming at the time I'm saying it. It flows better, way better when we include the people. It's more conversational. It's not so theatrical, which I love because our stories are very touching and very personal. There should be, like I'm talking to you right now.
How has the interaction from the audience added content to the show that you've kept? If at all.
Well, I was just about to say that we're kind of a hybrid, I would say, between theater and stand-up, because it almost feels like stand-up to a certain degree. The audience, it hasn't really changed the show. We have, now in New York, it's going to be interesting. We have an army of fans now in LA, and they come back again and again and again.
Repeat customers.
Yeah.
Is this your first time in New York?
This is our first time. It's our off-Broadway premiere. Yeah,
Big
off-Broadway premiere. So it's very exciting, and we're going to see how the New York audiences react. We expect that it'll be similar, but we're aware of the fact that they may not laugh at the same places. They may, we're going to make that adjustment. But I'll never forget the time we did the show in January this past year. And there was some guy who had seen the show a bunch of times, and Sandra started to tell a part of her joke, and the guy started laughing before Sandra had finished the joke. And he was like one of those slow clapping laughers, like ha,
when he
ha,
laughs.
ha. And
Are you talking about Will?
yes,
My Will?
and she called him a perv, right? Did you say Sucio or something?
Because I was about to say the punchline, and he said something. I forget what it was, and I go, "Not like that, cochino."
Yeah, which
That's
means
not where we were going. Whatever it means, you perv. And he just cracked up laughing,
in a
and
sweet
everyone
way,
laughed.
not
Of
like
course, in a sweet way. But I didn't know it was him. Was it him? Wow.
I think.
Yeah,
it
well,
was.
you just said, like, that's Will.
Yeah, that's who it was. It was Will.
They just interrupt us. Not as bad. I mean, I think
Yeah.
it's.
We've started to get to know, as you can see, our audience by their
our
names. Like
fans. And
they
a lot of them
come
are flying
every
to
year.
see us.
I have
Yeah.
like
Wow.
40-something people coming out.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Now, I have a question for you. Given
That's awesome.
I'm sorry.
I said that's awesome.
That's awesome. Each of you probably has your own favorite moment in the show. Because I know as an
There's a
actor
lot,
that there are those moments that you say, "Oh, I'm coming up to this fun moment," or this is always this is one of the things I look forward to every show, and I hate when it's over. So for each of you, what is a moment in the show, if you're willing to talk about it, that you savor?
What if there's more than 5?
There's so many.
I mean,
What do I do?
I know what I love about their pieces.
Go ahead.
Well, first of all, whenever we're all together, I always laugh. I mean, when we're not doing our monologues, and those laughs are genuine. And Maria, I love when you. And I've never seen your face do it because you're always turned away from me when you do this. Is when you ask your mom if she's happy for you, and
I watch it.
And,
It's hilarious.
and she starts to she's nodding, but she's like crying, nodding, and she goes, "Yes, I'm happy. No, I'm not happy." And it's very funny the way she switches between the two, and I don't even see you when I'm laughing. It's very good. And then Sandra, you have a bunch of them, but and also our show has changed through the years. We've always tried to perfect it. I think we're finally at a good point with the script where we really are happy. But I love there's multiple in yours, but one of the things I really love is when you do Santa. Talking to her Mexican Santa talking to Rudolph is very good.
I know you always laugh at that. I'm like,
It's good. I love it.
I love that we still laugh at this. We still really genuinely laugh at our pieces. Every time the same thing comes up, we laugh, even if we don't change it. I love the dancing parts.
Those are my favorites.
Those are my favorite too.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
I love when Diana does her mom.
I know.
You do your mom looks out the window. I genuinely can't stop laughing.
Yes.
That whole thing and other.
Remember, I thought
imitations.
about cutting it, and these two
No,
are like,
no,
"You
no,
better
don't
not
do
cut
that.
that."
Cannot cut. I shit on the shit.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, don't cut that.
No.
And Maria, of course, with like all your faces, the one where you say, what's the one? Ronnie, and she becomes her mom looking for her dad. just the way her physicalization, like, oh, here's the funny part. Oh, there's a lot of moments.
There's a lot of physical comedy in the show too. It's not just what we're saying; it's how we're physically, doing these things.
Is this a musical in a way also?
No. There are two. There's a song at the end, and there's some dance numbers, short dance numbers.
I sing in my set in my part
because I'm also
has an amazing voice.
I play piano. Thank you. Oh. And I say how I played piano growing up and how I taught myself how to play and this is what I would do in my moments of whatever. And so I do play a little bit and then I play at the end a really good serious song. But so we incorporate everything. We had Maria's a dancer, an amazing salsa dancer. So we incorporated in my fantasy dancing with a hot girl. So I dance with Maria.
And I'm trained, but I also growing up, all my idols were all the girl groups with the sexy ones.
And so
Apollonia, Mary Jane Girls, who was in there, and she was in the audience.
There.
I was fangirling, so I was like, I was you when I was 7. Like I played her.
That's
what's her name from the Mary Jane Girls?
Maxie.
And Maxie now makes cookies, which are divine.
Yeah.
Did you taste those cookies?
No, I brought one with me. I'm saying,
Remember the Mary Jane Girls?
My God!
In my house,
my house,
Candyman.
Yeah, we've had a lot of celebrities come over the years.
A lot.
Yeah.
That's cool. What's one of your most favorite celebrity moments?
Oh, it has to be when we met Alfred Molina. That was amazing.
I didn't meet Alfred Molina.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah, she wasn't
Perry
there.
Gilpin.
Perry Gilpin was fantastic. Sharon Glass is a big fan.
Sharon Glass is a huge fan of ours, and I was a huge fan of Cagney and Lacey. But Sharon Glass adores us.
Wow.
Yeah,
well, me.
She's amazing.
And now you've met Elsie. So
and now, of course, Elsie. She hasn't come see the show. But
I was getting there.
But she's going to give us a review without seeing the show.
Absolutely.
I want yeah.
What's your review of the show in advance of seeing it?
Oh, it's a spectacular.
Tell us, Elsie.
It's a spectacular. It's not special, it's spectacular.
But Latina Christmas Special is also important because we didn't grow up with that representation, like Diana was mentioning. We grew up with, Donnie and Marie and the Bob Hope, and none of us grew up with brown people. I know I look super pale, but I'm brown. Representing us, especially not even women, Latinos in general. But Diana was like, well, we have to do something for us too to represent, and how diverse we are as a community, and how talented we are as a people, and brilliant and powerful and very present. And especially in the nowadays where people get a skewed idea or, about who Latinos are, I think it's so important to represent not only women, Latinos, but the LGBTQIA plus community with my piece. It's like me growing up gay in Laredo, Texas, Mexican Catholic. Our show is so
we represent a little bit of everybody.
So multi-layered and multi-level that it's so important, especially in the climate of the world today.
Yeah, if I can just tag on to that for a quick second. Even Latinos, when you think of Latinos as a community, or Hispanic Americans, depending on what part of the country you come from, you have differences. So I'm Cuban American. It's totally different from Mexican American. And these two girls are Mexican American. You're half Mexican from different parts of the country. Well, so what happens is people come to the show, and let's say we had someone from Guatemala there. They're like, oh, I didn't realize. Like, they're different countries, so they're different styles, but they didn't realize how similar there's a lot of similarities. We've had Chinese Americans come, and my good friend Toy, who's Chinese American, came to the show, and she said, wow, I didn't realize how Latin my family is. Like, it's because the stories are, it kind of opens you up to going, oh yeah. We all have stressful families.
And that is the beauty that we're representing Latina women, LGBTQIA, but the human experience, the personal human experience is universal. And the beautiful thing about our show is that there's comedy, there's beauty, there's laughter, and there's pain, but there's beauty and growth and hope in that pain. There's faith. There's the song I sing is about finding the miracle and holiness and everything at the end, which is very important. There is that human bond that bonds us all together, that we're all going through something, but we're in this together and we're gonna pull through. And it's such a beautiful statement for the holidays, especially when people are feeling a whole bunch of emotions in the holidays.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I have one final question for you, and I would talk to you for 3 more hours if we had it. Honestly, I really do feel like we should just go out for cocktails sometime just to hang. Cause
Yeah,
I just think.
Come to our
Right?
show. We drink
Done.
in the show.
Yeah.
So,
Okay,
yeah.
great. I want to talk specifically about humor.
Okay.
And your understanding as Latina women who, is there a specific sense of humor, if you will, that comes through that specific culture that may make your show its own thing just because it reflects that particular sense of humor? That's something we haven't really talked about on this show much, is how a specific culture has its own slight bend of humor, its own unique way of presenting things because of the flows of the language naturally allow certain inflections or, the ways of talking about. So my question is can you talk about that? And as an additional part of that question, is that something you've thought about in what the show is?
Well, I think it's, I'm speaking about my mom, is that she came to California when she was 13, but her values are very much Latino. Everything is very heightened. As far as humor goes, it's very dramatic, over the top. Like, hi, Maria, when I leave, to anyone. Like when I came, you should see the videos. When I came here, it's the first time that I've gone anywhere on my own.
She's going to admit it. She's going to
admit it. Own.
Yeah, she
on
said
my own.
Because that's what happens when a Latino has an only child. This is what happens.
So my mom was like crying. She's like, "Oh, she was miss you so."
No,
much.
say it like she said it.
Hi, Maria. No, really. She wanted to take my luggage because I only brought 6 pieces of luggage.
Oh my God! Please don't get her started.
I don't own 6 pieces of luggage.
So it's very heightened, and it's very, very loving, and food is love is food.
Yeah.
Tamales make everything better.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. I would say also that, when I write comedy, I always look for the truth. And I think that people are surprised by the truth. And when they, and so they hear it and it's a surprise, but the truth, they know it's true and it connects. So I think our audiences, and not just the Hispanic American audience, the rest of the audience goes, oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. And there's a rhythm. I can't say because I only know the one rhythm I have, which is my own, my rhythm with comedy, with how I write comedy. But I always look for the truth. That to me is, I think, what people. Here's another thing. And I noticed this at our last show in Pasadena. We were sold out, and it was like a crazy.
We always
there was
that.
But this was like crazy, like big.
I know.
And
376.
Sorry, yeah. And so I was thinking that they're so excited to see themselves. That's part of it. And that in that sense, we're lucky. We're lucky that we happen to be talking about something that people don't get to hear very often. A lot of the audience is so thrilled to hear someone on stage talking about what Christmas is like for them in their homes, that they're just they kind of love us already. And in that sense, we have been taking advantage of them.
But it is yes, it is. It's not something for me that I think of, but there's a familiarity of language, of Spanglish, of inflection, like, ay, Maria. I already know where that comes from because I lived it, and it's funny as hell to me. I know exactly what you mean by if your mother goes, ay, Maria. I'm like, oh my God, here comes the drama, the telenovela. Yes, it is very cultural. And the humor in our show, you know how when you see something of other cultures like The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, and I can relate to that because we're also very exaggeratedly, but I can relate to it from the outside that I'm like, that is hysterical, the way they react, their vocal inflections, the words that they use. But when you are part of that culture, there is an extra amount of humor where you're like, people laugh because it's a familiar thing and it's
Uncle
a beautiful.
Tony, there you go.
And I go, that's funny.
I just did that Italian, by the way. I
And you
realized
did
it
the
was
Italian, and I could laugh at that as a foreigner, basically on the outside. But if I was Italian, or if you were like Mexican or Latino like us, there is a funny thing. There are words that sound funny in Spanish that me and Maria would just keep repeating the word.
Cotorro.
Oh my God! The other day we were just sitting down. Maria goes cotorro, and I'm like, that's a fucking
means
funny
parrot.
word. And it's parrot,
It's
but
cotorra, isn't it?
no,
Oh,
it's,
really?
there's difference. Well,
Okay.
it's a gendered language, but she said the word, and I laughed my ass off out
That's
of the blue
amazing.
because the word is a funny word, even though it means parrot. And I even said, remember you guys, I said, I feel sorry for people that don't speak Spanish or that aren't
I know.
like in
my
the culture
dad.
because it won't be funny to them. My partner and I always yell. She's Puerto Rican. We say different kind of words and we're like, that's hilarious. Who says that? We say that, and we recognize that it's a funny word. I can't explain it. I hope I'm explaining
You
it
guys
all
what my
right.
favorite Spanish word is?
What is
Sorry.
it?
Ciega.
Bombero.
Bombero. That's a funny
What does that
word.
mean?
It's fireman.
There you go.
But I love that it's bombero.
Mine is
sounds like-
prepucio.
What's that
Oh
mean?
Jesus, that's gross.
Do you know what it means?
What does it
Is
mean?
it what I think it means?
Oh yeah.
Ew.
I don't even know what it
I don't know
Is
what
that
it
what I think it means, Maria? Really?
I was joking. I looked in the Spanish dictionary. I go, okay, tell me when it stopped. And I said, and it was, and I'm like, ew. So I made a joke and I told my friend to go order tacos de prepucio.
Wait,
So
they don't
what
know
is
what
it?
it means.
And they
What
were
does it
like,
mean?
Go ahead.
foreskin.
I had no idea. My parents never said that word.
No, I didn't. I looked at the Spanish
Which is funny
dictionary.
because I honestly was going to guess sphincter or something.
I thought you were
So
going to say
close.
taint. I
So
thought
close.
you were
It's a
going to
taint.
say
No, it's not.
That's
No,
a
it's
good
not.
word.
Close.
Yes.
In
That's
that
a funny
region.
word.
How
What,
is that
sphincter?
close?
Yeah.
That is
funny
not even
word.
In
close.
the bottom region below.
All
That's disgusting.
All right. One last quickie question. Have you guys ever considered bringing someone from the audience on stage? Does that ever happen? Such as like an honorary Latina for the night?
We don't have enough time.
Gotcha.
I would just dance on people when I
No,
did my
and here's
thing.
here's the reason why. And correct me if I'm wrong. Diana, correct me if I'm wrong. Here's the reason why. Our show is so well thought. We have developed the show in that these words flow with a rhythm of comedy and a rhythm of how and the timing with all of us. It looks like we're just talking out of our ass, but we're not.
No,
It is a show.
it's
It is well
engineered.
written.
Yeah.
It flows. It's timed. There's no way that
Isn't
it's
that
one of these
one
improv
of
like. Mm-mm.
the greatest things about doing theater to me is just what you're talking about there, Sandra, and that is the audience feels like, so you'd spend weeks or months or years developing
Yeah.
a something that is executed exactly a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
It is so engineered and so skillfully done so that the audience simultaneously, several hundred or thousand of people have an involuntary emotional reaction at the exact same time that feels like it was just for them.
Because it
and
was
isn't that
just
an
for them.
amazing thing to
it really
accomplish?
is.
Because it was just for them. And
Yes.
even though, and I'll tag on to that, even though it is the same words in every show, the experience is never the same.
It's never the same.
The experience is
Different all
unique.
the
You can come on
time.
a Friday
Yes.
and
Yeah.
the show is a certain kind of way, and on a Monday the show is like same show, but it's a different connection with that audience. It's like making love to the same partner.
That's right.
It's the same, but it's different. There's a different mood. There's a different time of day. There's a different
Energy.
There's a different everything,
an
and it's a
amazing thing?
beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, that's the joy
exchange.
of live. That's
So
the
how
joy
do
of live
people connect with this show and come see it, find out about it and follow it and all those things? So
Well,
what
we
is it?
have a website, Latina Christmas Special, where you can find out lots
.com?
about .com, latinachristmasspecial.com. You can see more about us and so on and so forth, but there's a ticket link there that takes you to the site where the tickets are. But also, if you happen to know Soho Playhouse, sohoplayhouse.com, you can also go through there and find the tickets. It's going very, very well, and I will warn you that, because we know this from LA, maybe at the beginning when people don't quite know about us yet, there's going to be you can still get seats. The moment that it starts to really kick ass and people
Kablam.
know it's kablam,
Goodbye.
and then people are pissed that they didn't get their
Yeah.
tickets
Correct.
in time. It's a great gift too for the holidays.
All right, and I'm going to go round robin here. How do people follow you guys on social? Sandra?
Well, of course, we love Sandra.com.
Oh, really?
Of course.
Facebook, Sandra Valls. Instagram, Sandra Valls 01.
Yeah.
Sorry, Maria.
Diana?
At Diana Yanez Show, and that's the same one all across.
Of course.
Diana
show.
Yanez
And
Show.
Maria?
Yes. MariaAnnRussell.com. And on Instagram, my handle is Maria Ann Russell. And on the Facebook, I am Maria Russell. And on the Twitter, I am Maria Russell.
And the show itself, how do people find it on?
Latina.
At Latina Christmas Special on Instagram and at Latina Christmas on Twitter.
Awesome.
On Twitter.
El Twitter.
Well, this show isn't over yet, but I just want to use this moment to say thank you so much for sharing so much of yourselves
it's a
with
pleasure.
us.
Thank you.
What a joy. I can't wait to just keep the conversation going some other time, and can't wait to see what you guys accomplish. I can't wait for the Latina Easter special. So,
Oh, yes. Next,
all right.
Wow.
we need
The
another 10
resurrection
years.
of Jesus.
So speaking of parties and food and everything like that, just
here it
one
comes.
quick break, and then we'll be back with end of show food right after this.
Yay, food.
Connect with the show at Mouth Media Network or at our website, funnypeopletalking.com. And please, for the love of all that is holy, subscribe to the show and leave us a damn review and a really, really good rating on iTunes. Pretty please? Thank you.
right.
Glorious food.
It is the end of the show, and that means it's time for end of show food. And here's what that means. Elsie, usually what happens is Elsie scours the countryside, checks online, she talks, goes to stores, everything like that, and she finds amazing snacks or food or drinks or whatever for us to try. And the rule is this. She will explain what it is. She will pass it out to you. You will wait to eat it. And then she likes to count down. So we all do it at the same time, have the same experience together. And then each of us will in turn rate it, back to the reviews, on a scale of chickens. So chicken is part of our identity here. And so the rubber chicken and all that. So it's a scale of chickens. So you can make up your own scale. So your scale could be 668 chickens. So this is a 528 out of 668 chickens. You have your own scale. And what we will do is, my understanding from Elsie, she didn't explain anything, but we have multiple versions of the same
this
thing.
is
That's
the different thing that never happened.
That's all I was told. And so
forever.
what we will do is do a sort of lightning rating system where you will rate each one separately.
Okay.
So in the interest of time, we're going to sort of
We're gonna
speed
rock
through
it
this.
out.
But today is unusual because Elsie, although she is the conduit through which this has arrived, she did not actually supply this one.
Yeah.
Fill us in, Elsie.
Well, the kind people at Whisps, WHISPS, sent us this holiday amazing quartet of flavor. So we have Asiago and pepper jack cheese crisps. We have tomato basil cheese crisps. We have cheddar cheese crisps, and we have Parmesan cheese crisps. And these are only made out of cheese. Just
Have you ever had these?
No.
No.
Whisps.
My understanding is these are off the charts, amazing, ridiculous.
So I'm going to open them all at once because we are having time sensitivities.
All right.
Rip those open.
So we're going to taste them each.
Yeah, we're going to have a little bit each, but if you want to grab a handful afterwards and because you're addicted to it, that's fine.
Okay.
All right, so first we're going to do, I'm just going to, let's see. I'll try to do it from basic to most flavors so we have the cleansing of the palate kind of action going on. All right. So
Cleanse my
we're going to do
palate.
the cheddar cheese first.
So remember, these are literally, other than whatever little flavors are added to it, these are literally just cheese.
Oh, nice.
It's cheese?
Just
It's
queso.
just
No.
cheese, and then whatever
these are just
additional
cheese.
flavor
I
that makes
see.
it
Thank you.
unique. And so,
Thank you. All right, don't put it in your mouth
Thank
yet.
you.
So
Don't put it in your mouth
So
yet.
this is just cheese?
This is literally just cheese
Queso.
with. Thank you, Elsie.
Formaggio.
So these look like. You know when you have like grilled cheese and a little
Yes.
cheese gets on the side on the pan and then it sort of overcooks a little bit and it becomes this little wafer? That's what we're talking about here.
Then we're gonna
It
look at the
smells
color.
amazing.
Look at the
Which one is this, Elsie?
Ooh.
This is
one
cheddar.
is
Cheddar.
Cheddar.
Just cheddar?
Yeah, cheddar.
Just straight
Okay,
up.
ready?
All right, 1, 2, 3, go.
ASMR.
A gazillion chickens.
Wow.
Oh, I love it.
Wow. Okay.
Actually, I tasted more
Sandra,
as you're chewing it.
how many chickens?
800 chickens
Out of?
Oh.
out of 1,000.
800 out of 1,000. Why the deduction?
They're a little sharp.
Oh,
A little strong?
good.
They're a little sharp.
Sharp.
It's very it's cheese. It's hard cheese.
Okay. Diana?
I would also say 800 out of 1,000 chickens.
Okay.
It's good. It's definitely good, but I have a feeling I might like one of the other flavors better.
Okay. Maria? A million, you said.
gazillion.
This is Maria's all about this.
I love it.
I'd give it 950 out of 1,000.
Okay.
Strong, but I agree that I feel like there's opportunity for growth here.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
it. I
Ooh,
love how in the
interesting.
middle,
Elsie,
it
do you have a
tastes
rating
like
for this
melty.
one?
What flavor is
Thank
this?
you.
This next one.
Thank you.
Do you have a rating for the cheddar, Elsie?
Espérate.
72 out of 72.
72 out of 72. Thank you. Now, which one is this now?
I'm taking my seats.
Okay, Elsie's getting back
So
on.
this next one is the Parmesan cheese crisps.
Okay.
Parmesan cheese crisp. Ready? 1,
Ready?
2, 3, go.
Excuse me, that was my job.
Now these are puffier.
Yeah,
They feel more like a cracker.
They're a
Not
little
as-
whiter, a little bit.
I like these. These are good.
I give it 900 out of 1,000.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh,
she
you
went up.
keep taking it out of my mouth.
Diana
I'm
as well.
first, Diana.
900?
He's going round robin.
How do we do on this one?
900
Maria.
out of
I give
1,000.
this 6 chickens out of 10.
6 out of 10. This was not your favorite.
No, because it's stuck.
The
It's a podcast, Maria. Remember?
It's a podcast.
Yeah,
Why are
yeah.
you acting?
okay. Well, that fully explained it. So
Doesn't explain it all.
Maria said because it's got
I give this one a 9 out of 10.
yeah
These are-
900 out of 1,000.
I give it
Same thing.
71 and a half out of 72 because I like the texture of this one better, but it wasn't
love the
as
texture.
flavorful.
Gotcha. All right, here we go.
Okay.
You're supposed to be last.
All right, so this is tomato basil. Is that right, Elsie? Tomato basil
basil.
flavor Whisps. Again, thank you to the amazing people at Whisps who were so kind
Yeah,
enough to
thank
send these
you.
over.
Thank you, Whisps.
They're just great people.
I mean, they're really great, actually.
Thank you.
To tell you the
Tomato
truth.
basil.
All right, yeah.
Ready?
Overall, these are just amazing.
There you go.
Go. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Winner.
I think this is
We
the
have a
winner
winner.
so far. I mean, the other ones were
Chicken
good too.
dinner.
This is just really
That was
special.
delicious.
No, this
yeah.
is
Go
1,000
on,
out of
yeah,
1,000
this is
chicken.
delicious.
This is like grandma's sauce to me. Oh my gosh.
It's like a
Yeah.
It's like
It
a
is
pasta
sauce.
meal in your mouth right now.
Right, right,
Sandra,
right.
Sandra,
Savory.
rate it.
1,000 out of 1,000 chickens. Gallinas.
Diana.
1,100 out of 1,000.
1,100 out of 1,000.
chickens.
A million out of a million.
Wow.
72 out of 72.
Yep, 120 out of 120. This was a perfect.
these are-
This was a perfect
was
score.
my- so-
Tomato
so
basil.
far,
Way to go,
number one.
Wisps. And these
All right.
ones are.
And did you purposely give them to us this way?
And
so
this is the
will
last of the 4 flavors that we have.
Thank you. These
are hard.
Sandra got a puffy one there.
No, but look at all my puffy ones.
And these are Asiago.
Excuse me.
You're
We're
gross.
in public.
he means
You're very
Wisps.
inappropriate.
He means
Okay.
Wisps,
Asiago
guys,
pepper jack
Wisps.
cheese crisps.
This one is an
pepper.
Asiago pepper jack cheese.
I love
All right.
pepper jack.
Ready?
1,
It's
2,
spicy?
3.
1, 2, 3, go.
You know what's interesting? When I bite into it, I don't taste it as much as after I've been chewing. It seems like it's something that you have to be. Don't you notice the flavor comes in more
Yeah.
afterwards?
This one builds on you. This one builds.
Because this one's a puffier wisp. Look at it.
It's
I
louder.
like this one a lot
It's
too.
louder.
Mine has a
Am I
little
loud?
blood on it. No, this must be a
No.
pepper.
I don't think the people at Wisps would appreciate.
I'm sorry,
was
they gave
not
it to a
blood. It
comedian.
was a
I'm
pepper, I know.
sorry.
I love this one, but I would put hummus on this one. Wouldn't you? Like
This
it's
is-
like a little hummusy.
Interesting.
Like I would dip it in something.
Like it would almost take the edge off a little bit.
It's heartier, but
Yeah. Ooh, this
Yeah,
does
little
build. You get that pepper jack
I really
coming
like-
back to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why it needs a little bland, like
Yeah,
a little
I dig
hummus.
it. I did a little
If
milk
you,
chaser.
If you could see me, I'm like scooping invisible hummus.
That's right.
with my right hand.
Maria learned from that.
Did you see how she described that, Maria?
That's right. Okay.
No.
So let's go around, rate these real quick here,
I would
Sandra.
say I would go back to 800 out of 1,000 chickens. My
Right
favorite
out of
was you.
Diana's mouth, 800 out of 1,000.
We must have the exact same taste.
That is what it
800
is.
out of 1,000
Well,
chickens.
you know,
yeah.
I don't want to
Maria.
touch
Well,
that.
it's the same taste, but I'm going 8 chickens out of 10 chickens.
8
That's
out
what
of 10
exactly
chickens.
like us.
It's the same, I know.
Maria.
But I'm using different numbers because I want to be OG.
Of
Elsie?
course you are.
71.5 out of 72.
So pretty close to perfect, but
Yeah.
I'm going to give this one a 70 out of 72. I'm just going to go in your
All right.
your
So now I got to ask, what was everyone's favorite?
tomato basil.
I had a
The
feeling,
basil.
Unanimous.
Winner.
Unanimous, yeah.
Listen, Wisps,
If you guys want more, you can have more too.
Okay, so overall, I think we agree. In general, these wisps are freaking amazing.
They are
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, they're very
So,
original too, and it's nice to have something different.
You
than
know what I
really
was
is.
thinking? Because I don't like salads just by themselves. I need crunchy stuff.
Yeah.
How many grams of carbs?
I would put that on a salad. Completely put it
carbs.
on a salad.
There's carbs.
There's hardly any.
Well, because it's
They're
all
also
cheese.
gluten free,
Maria,
right?
they're-
That is so-
They're
it's
cheese,
so-
Maria.
I
That
believe
is
that.
so amazing. Oh my God, Wisp, I love you.
So there you go,
So
everybody.
thank you, everyone at Whisps.
Yeah,
You
thank you,
rock.
and Elsie, thank you very
salad, yeah.
much for that. What a great way to end a great show. Happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays.
Go see the Latina Christmas Special. Absolutely. And Sandra, Diana, Maria, I just want to say thank you to all of you for being here. It was so wonderful
And to the
meet
Peanut
you.
Gallery.
And Brenda Lee.
Thank you so much.
And thank you again to Wisps. What a great show. And Break a Leg.
Thank
guys,
you for
break a
having
leg.
us. Thank
We're
you.
looking forward to
And get
it.
your tickets now because you're going to be sad if you don't.
Danielle, we miss you. Elsie, thank you very much.
Sure.
And thank you, everybody,
hey,
for
Danielle.
listening. Happy holidays. Happy New Year. We love all of you and appreciate you listening. It really means the world to us. Real quick, I also want to say thank you very much to our guests for bringing us these amazing special VIP shot glasses, all wrapped up in glittery bows, and a headshot, of the three of them, which they will autograph before they leave.
Yes.
That's it, everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
That's it? That's the end of the show? Boy, oh boy, what a crock. This was Funny People Talking. Copyright 2019. No portion of the content may be reproduced or published without the strict written permission of the producers. Connect with our show at Mouth Media Network or at our website, funnypeopletalking.com. I'm your announcer, Peter Coleman. Thanks for listening.
This is Mouth Media Network. Amplify and connect.